All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to decode the invisible system that is quietly keeping people broke, and way more importantly, we're going to reveal the actionable playbooks so you can start building real wealth right now. So let's dive straight in because we've got some absolutely groundbreaking concepts to cover today that are going to completely change how you look at your money.
95%. Let that just sink in for a second. That is the cold, hard truth we have to face. 95% of people will go their entire lives without ever building real, lasting wealth. And you know what the most dangerous part is? Most of those people just assume they'll somehow magically end up in that top 5% without actually changing anything. But listen, building wealth isn't about luck. It's about recognizing the traps set up all around you.
Okay, here is our roadmap for today. 1. The system keeping you broke. 2. 3 sneaky wealth killers. 3. The 50-30-20 money system. 4. Habits of financial discipline. And 5. Start building wealth today.
Section 1. The system keeping you broke.
Look, staying broke, it's not about having bad luck. And it's not just being a victim of the economy either. It's actually a systemic result of a massive lack of financial education. I mean, think about it. In school, we all learn the Pythagorean theorem, right? We learn the water cycle. But did anyone teach us about compound interest or assets versus liabilities? Nope. And the result of that missing education is what we call the rat race. You wake up, you grind, you get your paycheck, and then, poof, it's instantly gone to rent, food, and maybe some new drip for social media. And just like that, you're back to zero. It's incredibly frustrating. And honestly, getting caught in it at first, that wasn't your fault. But choosing to stay in it after you understand how it works, well, that becomes a choice.
Section 2. 3 sneaky wealth killers.
Okay, trap number 1 is lifestyle inflation. This happens every single time your income goes up. You get a raise or maybe a bonus, and boom, your spending goes up right alongside it. You rent a nicer apartment, you buy a new phone, so yeah, you're making more money, but you're still sitting at zero at the end of the month. So, the absolute crucial move here is what we call the smart play. When you get that raise, you intentionally keep your expenses exactly the same, and you invest the difference. That gap right there between what you earn and what you spend, that is precisely where real wealth is built.
Trap number 2 is cash doing nothing. If your money is just sitting around in a regular savings account earning zero interest, you are actually literally losing money. Inflation is just eating your purchasing power alive every single year. Wealthy people don't just save their money, they put it to work in assets like index funds, stocks, and real estate. And no, you don't need to be some Wall Street expert to do this. Even just $50 a month invested consistently will compound into something very, very real over time.
And trap number 3 is living for right now. We live in a world that's basically engineered for instant gratification. One-click checkouts, buy now, pay later schemes, they are literally designed to drain your wallet. People are so obsessed with looking rich just to flex on social media. But getting rich? That's all about delaying gratification. Instead of asking, hey, what can I buy today? The wealthy ask, what can I build that will pay me forever? It is a total mindset shift from consuming junk to accumulating assets.
Section 3. The 50-30-20 money system.
Now this right here is your ultimate weapon against the rat race. And the absolute best part about this budget is how beautifully simple it is. No complex spreadsheets, no math degrees required. Every single paycheck you get, whether it's $800 or $8,000, gets sliced into 3 distinct buckets. 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% for your savings and investments. Let's break those down. Your first bucket is your 50% for needs. These are your strict, non-negotiable survival items. We are talking rent or mortgage, groceries, basic utilities, and health insurance. And hey, let's do a quick, harsh reality check here. That gym membership you never actually use? Or ordering takeout 5 nights a week? Yeah, those are wants pretending to be needs. You have to be brutally honest with yourself about this category because it's the foundation of the whole system. If your true needs are taking up more than 50%, that's a massive red flag. It means your expenses need to drop or your income needs to rise. The second bucket is 30% for your wants. Now, what's really cool about this system is that it doesn't tell you to stop living your life. Most budgets fail because they're just completely miserable and restrictive. But this 30%, this gives you permission for guilt-free spending. Netflix, eating out with friends, going to concerts, grabbing those new sneakers, all of that lives right here. Keeping it capped at 30% prevents that awful feeling of punishment, which means you're actually going to stick to this system long term.
The final bucket is the 20% for savings and investments. Guys, this is the bucket that buys your future freedom. First, you use this money to build a rock-solid 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Once that safety net is fully in place, you go on the offensive. You attack index funds, stocks, and retirement accounts. This is how you ensure your money is actively working for you even while you sleep.
And please remember this golden rule. Willpower runs out. Systems do not. You absolutely cannot rely on just being disciplined enough to manually transfer that 20% at the end of every single month. You will eventually forget or find an excuse. You have to automate it. Set it up so that 20% vanishes straight into your investment accounts before you can even touch it.
Section 4. Habits of financial discipline.
Real wealth is built on daily habits. First, pay yourself automatically. Next, live below your means. Remember, don't upgrade your whole lifestyle just because your income goes up. Maintain an active weekly budget so you know exactly where every dollar is going. Crucially, avoid bad debt on depreciating assets like the plague. And finally, build that 3 to 6 month emergency fund so that financial disasters just become minor inconveniences.
But we aren't stopping there. You also need to invest consistently. Remember, time in the market always beats trying to time the market. Never stop learning because knowledge compounds exactly like interest does. Build multiple income streams to lower your overall risk. Surround yourself with growth-minded people because honestly, your network literally shapes your net worth. And above all else, play the long game. You are planting trees today that you might not sit under for years. Don't chase those sketchy get-rich-quick schemes.
7. Yep, 7. That is the surprisingly high number of distinct income streams the average millionaire relies on. It just goes to show the immense danger of resting your entire financial security on one single paycheck. The wealthy diversify. They use investments, side hustles, real estate, and more.
All of these habits, everything we've talked about, anchor back to one fundamental philosophy. Discipline is the real currency. Lasting wealth is never, ever built overnight. It's built by making consistent, smart choices day after day, especially when it's hard. Discipline today is the exact price you pay for having freedom and options tomorrow.
Section 5. Start building wealth today. Okay, here are your immediate marching orders. Step 1. I want you to pull up your bank statement from last month and really audit it. Find the leaks. See exactly what percentage of your cash actually went to once. Face the reality of your spending habits head on. Step 2. Go set up an automatic transfer for your 20% savings or investments to trigger on your very next paycheck.
And that leads us to our final thought for today. Look, you do not have to master all 10 of these habits perfectly by tomorrow morning, but you do have to start. So I'm going to leave you with this question. What is the very first habit you're going to choose to start today, the literal second this explainer ends? Pick one, commit to it, and just watch how it begins to transform your future. Thanks so much for learning with us, and I'll catch you next time.